Oh, Texas, we are wasting no time. It's time to just get this one on the road. After that last series, I feel like we're all a little bummed out. Energy level's still good, we're still sweet. They're sweet, they're ready, they're prepared, and so are we. It's time to welcome to the stage one side of our brilliant lower bracket matchup. They're green, they're mean, and they know what they want to do. They want to smoke Vegas. Bring them to the stage, the Boston Breach! We are Vivid, Beans, Owakening, and Nero.
In that last series, Beans got brought back down to earth. Now he's trying to bounce back and make the losers bracket run. Boston Breach all year long have been looking for that big run in the bracket at a major. This is their opportunity against Vegas. Beans needs that bounce back. We'll see if he can do it. Now let's bring out the old man and the Vegas boys, Miles.
Old man and the Vegas boys. We'll find out if Boston are ready to respect their elder. Ladies and gentlemen, they're looking to put it all in on the table right here, right now in Arlington, Texas. Please make some noise for the Las Vegas Legion! TJ Hale, Temp, Two Real, and Priestahh, the Las Vegas Legion.
It's the 90th time Clay has touched that stage here at an event, and it's a big moment for the franchise history to make it as far as they have in this tournament thus far. But they don't want to stop it here. They want to make it to Sunday, but they got to get through the green that is Boston Breach. It's time to get this final match started.
All right, boys and girls, let's give it a good, clean fight. Keep everything above the waist, and let's get ready to rumble. We're ready to go! All right, Lando and Stud, let's get it on!
Let's go, Miles. I've been waiting for this opportunity all day long. Jay, you and I have watched 4 matches go, 4 matches pass, but now it's our time, baby.
Yeah.
Boston v. Vegas. Elimination bracket game. This is going to be a blast.
Oh, this is going to be a banger, man.
Woo!
You think about what Vegas were able to do yesterday, winning 2 insane series, the final one versus the LA Thieves. And then the opposite side for Boston Breach, a really tough loss versus that Toronto Ultra roster. They struggled in that game 5, and one player that I really want to focus on is the guy who made all the noise during day 1. It's Beans, man.
Yeah.
He didn't really have the best performance. You heard the Death touch on it. He had a 0.6 overall, and even worse, in the Search and Destroys, a 0.33. So Beans has got to step it up.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that, when it comes down to this Boston Breach team, whenever they brought Beans into the lineup, right, it was all about, hey, our slang should improve, our Search Destroy should improve. Really didn't have that in that series versus Toronto. I know he was eager to, face off against Scrappy, did not have the W that he would like. So, Boston off of the loss. However, man, for the Vegas Legion, their first matchup of today, last time we saw them, they were breaking some records. They were going on some runs. Clay and the boys trying to improve this Legion franchise match by match, and they're also trying to break some records when it comes down to placements, Jay. This is for top 4, and we're talking about the Legion franchise.
That's insane, man, because I'm pretty sure that would be their best placement ever at a major. Obviously, when you pick up veteran presence, 3-time world champion like Priestahh, he has the ability to make it all the way to a championship Sunday. But this map, number 1 for me, is everything for both of these squads. Obviously, on the side of Boston, they need some kind of ground to stand on after a very difficult loss versus Toronto. And then for Vegas Legion, they take this map, number 1, just going forward. When you look at the maps in the most, that Fortress S&D, which is game 2, that's their best S&D. So map number 1 is everything for me.
Yeah, map number 1 is going to really tell the tape when it comes down to this matchup. The final one of the day, and well, Jay, hallowed ground, really, for the Vegas Legion. Last time we saw them on this map, they were pretty much strutting their way to one of the greatest comebacks in COD history. They were down 206 to 63 versus the LA Thieves. They managed to bring that game back. We're hoping they don't have to go through the gauntlet like that again. So far, starting the game off nice, 23 unanswered points.
Yeah, they started off on the better side, so they do a great job of just finding a lot of time off of this P1, but Boston Breach, they're able to find that break, find a couple kills on the map, and maintain the better side for this P2. For both of these squads, pretty sure Boston Breach are dead last when it comes to rotation, and Vegas Legion, they are awful when it comes down to setting up properly for these hills, as Temp He's a guy who just has that beamer on him. Yesterday in hardpoint alone, he had a 2.0, and he's not slowing down now.
No, not at all. Don had a chance to interview him on the stage, and you could just tell he feels light. You see some light in his eyes. He's been with this Legion franchise for such a long time, as the break very nearly could be in. That is 3 down. Last player alive. The backside of the spawn is going to be Nero. However, Boston do get granted with a few spawns toward the back. Vivid, he'll end up coming in from the front. So basically establishes a bit of a pinch for Breach. They take advantage and they hold.
Yeah, that was just good work from Nero to just stay alive towards those back steps, give those spawns to his teammates for them to break right back on in and get this final 35 seconds. Now it's going to force Vegas Legion off the rotation. But now you have to worry about Vivid. He's able to sneak his way right on through. He's already in towards Kitchen. Vegas Legion have to be able to take care of this guy.
Yeah, invest dead silence. Great plays coming in from Reese. We'll see if he can manage to find a 2-piece. That's going to be 1. This other one would be huge. Vivid with some early snaps. This very well could set up Breach in the best position possible. Another 1v1. Awakening tagged up. The nade will land. That is 3 down, and quickly it is 2 real left all by his lonesome, but he ends up fighting 2 himself. The new addition to this Legion team trying to fight back and not allow for Boston to get ahead, get out. Nice and early. A headbutt continues as Legion rush forward.
Such an all-out battle, all into the mix when you talk about this Kitchen Hill so far. As unfortunately Vivid is gonna nade himself, but with a little bit of damage from Clay, he's able to pick up that kill with a stun. So with only 25 seconds remaining on towards Kitchen, Boston, they're still putting pressure on it. Nero's able to find 2, and he already does earn himself that cruise missile. 10 and 5 to start this game. Finds another one onto Clay. Now Boston Breach are going to be able to get this final 15, but off the rotation, it's going to be some huge gunfights. At least the trade does come in from Beans.
Yes, indeed. I'll tell you what, man, if you're a Boston fan, seeing player number 4 in Nero having a great start to a map is typically a welcoming sight. I mean, how often have we seen it where comes into a series, has a point to prove, he comes out, looks like one of the best players in the world, and right there extends that spree now to 4. It is 7 as a team. Beans eventually drops, but Breach continuing on their reign of terror, and now it could be Big Wake's opportunity. Ends up finding 2. Breach racking up the time, a few more away from reaching 100.
Oh man, that's just good work right there from Boston Breach, reading all the spawns all over the map, because Vegas Legion were getting back spawn, bedroom spawns, but they found all of those kills. We were able to basically hold this for a full 40 seconds as the SMGs are starting to come alive. We talked about Vivid. He's already sitting at 12 and 7. Didn't really have the best performance in that last series, but he's alongside his duo Nero, who are so far taking over this game.
Yeah, we're talking about scoreboard. Well, that is a perfect example of it. Clay, as he hits the dust, goes back to the respawn screen. He'll load up at 6 and 13. We talked about it, trying to lead this Legion franchise to a championship Sunday. They have not seen too many Sundays in their history, but overall, we'll see if he can help lead the charge in. He eventually drops from there. Legion, they continue to fall by the wayside. Another clean 4 down. Breach are rolling right now.
Yeah, Legion are just going one by one. They're not finding any trades. They're just getting picked apart. And so far, Boston Breach are taking every advantage possible as they're going to put themselves up by 100 points. They know exactly where the spawns are coming in. With only 30 seconds left, Vegas have to put pressure on. They have to find something, but Nero already 17 and 7. He has 2 minutes in the hill. He's Mr. Do-It-All.
I don't know, Jay. I don't know if I'm more shocked by the slaying levels that he has or the amount of time that he has after just a few hard points. Goodness sake, Nero. A stat sheet stuffer through our first few hard points. The first set of rotations aren't even done yet, but Breach making this game already look out of reach. But we've seen crazier comebacks happen before, Jay, with this very same team and on this very same map yesterday. We'll see if Legion can eventually get things going as they're just trying to make their way through the kitchen. 2 real, he gets shut down. Player number 5 in TJ is waiting to get the call. When is my time to rush on forward? Eventually elects to do so, but none of his teammates are walking away with their fights. Another few men down, 100-point lead now.
Boston just too strong on the setup. You have players that are pushed out towards kitchen. That's where Vegas Legion are trying to put a lot of pressure because they want to flip those spawns. But once Boston Breach win those gunfights, now you know all of Vegas Legion are coming from bedroom. Just have to win a couple of these fights. They can't find any openings. Boston have been playing some perfect hardpoint in our first rotation of these HPs. With only 15 seconds left, Vegas Legion, they have to cut their losses. They have to basically do the same exact comeback like they did yesterday versus Thieves.
I mean, can lightning strike twice? We'll have to see. Tell you what, man, I feel like for Boston Breach, they're eager to get Cinderella out of this ball nice and early. 200 points before Vegas had even fully reached 70. Excellent work so far.
Oh,
Pretty
man.
much everybody on the team. 23 and 14 for Vivid. But as we said, the star so far in this game one has been King Nero. 20 and 11. 2 minutes inside of the hard point. So many issues arising early for the Vegas Legion. We talked about it, how this opening hard point was probably going to tell the tape of how this series would go. And I tell you what, Jay, if it goes anything like this series very well could be over soon.
All right, well, Vegas Legion, it did a good job, though, finding a lot of time off of this P1. They're maintaining spawns for P2. Just had to hold the push through from Shandy's side as Vivid already finds himself in a great position. The trade is there for 2Real, but now 2Real's the only guy. He has to try to make big plays, but Beans with the beamer is able to take him down. So Boston Breach, again, are going to win that rotation over towards P2.
And now this break feels, I mean, absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
It feels like it has got to be here, and it's got to be now. Every kill is crucial as TJ strolling on forward, trying to lead the charge to the backside of the spawns. 203 to 106. Snapshotted it very well. Could be something that we reference again. TJ eventually drops from the back, and now it is all on to Clay. Can he win the fight versus Big Wake? Not going to happen. Head taken clean off there of the veteran. Vegas were looking for the break, and they've still yet to see it.
They have yet to find anything. It's always constant trades from the Boston Breach. They're getting those close spawns towards double deaths. Have a lot more bodies in this situation. But Vegas Legion know they cannot give up this time. Boston cannot win off this P2. If you give up this time, the game is basically chalked up. So Vegas Legion gonna fight this to the very end with only 20 seconds left. Now you have to think about that rotation. It's all gonna be on 2Real. The guy who gets crucial kill after crucial kill, he has to do it again.
They have stunned, they've got the information.
Big two.
2Real. Good heavens, able to drop 2. 1v1 to the point. This is gonna be huge. TJ is able to take it. I feel like if this was any other team, we'd be talking about this one is over. Legion starting to get a bit of momentum, down by 100. Can they lead the charge? Does it start in Kitchen?
It has to start in Kitchen. You have to get a full 60 hold. Let's just hit a couple snakes behind the counters as Clay is finally starting to heat right back on up. That's 3 dead in the feed. Vegas Legion, we've seen the comeback before. All 4 dead. Boston Breach spawning all the way across the map. It's gonna be some time before action is back into the play, but Vegas, they're fighting.
They are indeed. TJ, oh my God, nearly hit 6 in a row. Vegas, still alive, still thriving. These 20 points, I mean, you still got to fight for them. That's the issue of being down by this much, is the fact that Boston can afford to go for the scrap points, but Legion win those fights, and now it is a matter of a race.
Oh my.
TJ is the one who's going to have to scout for information. He wins his 1v1. Can Clay win his? Can Clay walk away with it? Yes, he does. A 2v2, now a 2v1. Clay starting to heat up, eventually drops, and now this is when chaos can begin to ensue.
Vegas is starting to fight. They're bringing it all the way back. Boston Breach getting those close spawns in towards bottom bedroom, but Temp, he's a guy watching the cross. He finds his 6th kill in a row, earns himself that cruise missile, but Boston Breach, they're able to find the break. So Temp has to invest that cruise. You have to get the information to your team. You have to at least try to find 1 kill.
Can it land? Trophies down, information gained. What can they do with it? 232, 176. Beans able to snap for 1. Soulmane alive, and the point every single second continues to weigh on Vegas. Last time it was a heroic comeback. Now it could just be defeat. 2Real, 2Real, 2Real. Quick little triple there for him. But 9 seconds is all you need. Boston, 1 break, and this game is done. Can Legion do it again as we head toward Restaurant?
This is how Legion were able to do it yesterday versus LA Thieves. Was getting a great hold in towards the dynamite. Boston Breach, they already find the break. They're finding all the kills. They're trying to close it out right now.
Temp, he's got to know exactly where Beans is hiding. TJ ends up getting traded out. It's currently a free hard point, and 2Real will jump on in. As we said, 1 break is all that you need. 2Real doing everything he can to stay alive, and this party looks to be spoiled. There you go. Boston able to take it after Vegas eventually started to wake up. But not on this day, not in back-to-back games. It cannot happen twice. Boston Breach, game 1 dub goes to them. 250-200 is our score.
Boston Breach just came out swinging early into this hardpoint, man. They were winning rotation after rotation. Vegas just couldn't get a hold, man. They couldn't get a hold on our first rotation of hardpoints, and Boston Breach put themselves up by 100. So all it came down to was winning a couple key gunfights, keeping the trades efficient, and eventually closing out the game all the way at Diner. Vegas, they started to fight though, man. They started to fight. They started to bring themselves right back into this game. And that's crucial because you don't ever want a scoreline in a map number 1 in a losers bracket series to be 250 to less than 100 points. So at least showing some fight, you will have some momentum going into that game number 2. But Boston Breach, they completely forgot about that loss. They were doing everything they needed to do right, winning their rotation, setting up properly. And when your SMGs came out to play the way that they did, Nero had such a great start to this game. You slowed down toward the very end, but you grow that lead the way that they did. Only a couple moments that have to go your way to close out the game. Boston Breach, take the first.
It's so funny, Jay. I feel like the first set of rotations and the second set of rotations were like 2 totally different hardpoint maps. Like we were giving all the love to Boston. We were hyping up Vivid. We were talking about Nero. And then it's almost like, oh yeah, like that is what they did at the start of the game. Vegas started to make the charge back, but like we said, not able to do it twice, not able to come away with, I guess, back-to-back legendary hardpoint performances. Breach answer early, and well, Jay, that's big for Boston, right? Considering that they've got that game 3 circled, so you do now have a little bit to focus on. Considering that next Search Destroy that we're going to have up next, we definitely favor Legion when it comes to record. So for Breach, not in a bad spot, right? This game 2 doesn't feel like you have to take it, considering that game 3, of course, you want to, but this game 1 definitely gives them a padding, if you will.
Oh yeah, without question, man, because if you're Boston Breach, you just played this Fortress Search and Destroy versus Toronto Ultra. You lost all the way in round 11, and the biggest thing that caused them problem was their defensive rounds. They just gonna clutch up on that end, but like you said, man, circling that map number 3, that control map, where Vegas Legion have not been able to find a win in quite some time in that mode. 0-6 in the last 6 times that they have played it. So if you are Boston Breach, taking that first respawn was big. If you can come out and take this Search and Destroy, then you definitely have the opportunity to close this one out in 3.
Yeah, definitely do. We're going to take a look at all of our maps and modes here presented by GMC Hunter EV. We're taking a look at Fortress Search Destroy. We're also talking about that Fortress listed for game number 3. The crowd's not super excited to see it, but who knows? Maybe we could see an attacking victory. Then we've got Embassy Hardpoint there for the game number 4. And who knows, maybe we could have ourselves a good old game 5. Hi, crowd. You guys are nice and small. You look like ants out there. But tell you what, Jay, I'm excited, man. Fortress Search Destroy, it feels like lately when we've casted it, it is chaos.
Yeah, it's an absolute
chaos
mix.
Than normal.
It's a mix, man. When you think about how fast these rounds have to go, especially in early round number 1s, no trophy systems to work with, so you're trying to fight for all-out art control. So I'm super excited to see the battle between the SMGs, 2Real and TJ versus Vivid and Nero. Just all about those early fights, man. If they can find multiple first bloods, that's gonna be the key. But I think for Boston Breach, in order to take down this Vegas Legion squad, it has to all start with TJ. TJ is the playmaker that makes his way into art. He makes it happen for the Vegas Legion. Even if they get first blooded on this map, they have a 47% win rate in 3v4. So it's never easy. But Boston Breach have to make sure that they're maintaining art control, finding those first bloods, and getting those bombs down.
Yeah, to kind of put that in perspective, I think, you know, for new fans out there, like 3v4 win percentage is normally like what, like 20%?
Yeah,
so
it's not
good. The fact that Vegas, when it comes down to this map, are so well cultured, so well strategized when it comes down to being in these man-down situations. It feels like they're prepared for almost anything. But Fortress Search Destroy, a map that they love, a map that they have yet to lose. Can it continue to be a beacon of hope for them? We look through the eyes of Donnie Tip, giving out those final call-outs, giving out some final words as they load in now for some good old Fortress Search Destroy. And there are the records, the stats that we have been referencing. Good God, Jay.
Oh yeah, those stats are pretty damn good. Vegas Legion undefeated on this map, and they're gonna be the team on the attacking side to start this one off. They know Boston Breach have no trophy system, so they're not going to get aggressive on towards A. They're going to put the pressure onto them, but Clayster, he tries to jump up towards the top P1 trucks. He gets picked off by Vivid, 3v4.
Yeah, little did we know. We thought the SMGs, the crackheads were going to get involved. Nope, just turns out old man Clay wants to have himself a first blood engagement. Doesn't go his way, and from there, Well, the team has to rebound. As we said, they're typically good in 3v4s. All right, 2v4. How about that? TJ Temp, longtime teammates, back-to-back. What can they do? Doesn't look like a whole lot.
Yeah, now it's all up to TJ in the 1v4. He is going to get spotted, but the Beamer able to take down Vivid. Now 40 seconds to work with. Dead Silence is about to be earned. If you are Boston Breach, you just want to make sure you put yourself in a trade scenario. Because now he is going to get heard. They get the information. Snipe the air a little bit. He's probably not going to invest his Dead Silence in this 1v3.
Yeah, that's his version of punching the air out of frustration. 1v3, 20 seconds to go. Put some nice shots into Beans. However, not able to walk away with our first. Clay try to go for the early engagement, and from there, nobody really able to walk away with anything. TJ, the only man who walks away with the kill in that opening round. Boston off to a nice start.
That round falls into the hands of Vivid, because once he finds that first blow into Clay, he doesn't hesitate with the aggression up through the street side. He finds himself all the way towards back 18. He's able to take down the second. And then once he finds that second kill, you see all of Boston Breach is starting to be aggressive. They're able to find the final kill onto TJ to make that round number 1 look easy. But this is where they have to focus up, because Vegas Legion, they are stellar on their defensive rounds, even in the 3v4. Got to try to get this bomb down quick.
How about Temp bringing out the big guns? Vivid able to answer early. Temp does bring out that sniper, so Beans as well. Also wiped away here in round number 2. It looks like with all that nade pressure, Legion are going to go ahead and back on up. Oh, Temp, where did that bullet go? Okay. Felt like that one was good, Jay. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely thought that sniper was going to hit, but
I think you did too.
With him not getting that kill, this is now going to allow Boston Breach to get this bomb down over towards A. So in the 3v3 retake, Donnie Temp with that sniper pistol, he probably wants to be the player to go in front of all his teammates. So he's just trying to get the information, but Boston Breach, they're stalling out that clock.
They are, making Legion come to them. Temp, is he ready for the fights? Vivid knows the spot. That one's able to land. Punches the bomb and says, oh yeah, that bullet. Eventually is able to connect. Currently with numbers, but time continues to tick. Can Temp win that fight? Yes, he can. Give me the defuse as Clay is there on Overwatch. Legion there for the retake, and Temp makes good on an early ghost bullet, 1-1.
Yeah, and that was a 3v4 round right there from Vegas. Great snipes coming in out of Temp to clutch that round on up. And also great in the retake situations as well. Temp opens it up, at least finds that first kill onto Beans. Finds 3 in the round with the sniper. No hit markers. That's super crucial as he just plays it super patient. Knows that Boston have to eventually tech this bomb. And Vegas Legion successful in the retake, tied up at 1.
Talked about it so often for the Legion, right? I mean, the storyline for them coming into this season was Temp needs some help, right? Temp just needs a good supporting cast. Needs some players that maybe have some veteran experience, who've been around the block for a while. Such a big spot for him in his career. Not seen too many championship Sundays lately, but trying to lead the charge. Great snipes in that last round, but we are quickly here into round number 3. Temp has fallen, and so has TJ. So now it is Boston currently with numbers, but bomb is going to be planted. We'll see if they can make the retake now.
Yeah, so now into 3v2 for Boston Breach. Nero's going to invest that Dead Silence. They are trapping 2 real in towards the back of this palm tree. Now they're working up towards the street side. Clay's gonna have his hands full. He's trying to time it correctly, but Nero's able to take him down. Now it's all lift up to 2 real. They know where he is.
I was gonna say, man, for a moment, Clay, like when it came down to the mini-map, he is just hanging out in cannons, and it felt like he made probably a sound, like just a fraction of a second, he makes his presence felt, and all of those arrows just completely swarm around him. A solid effort there for Legion, but as we said, Boston with numbers, and they make the retake. Back-to-back situations where bomb is down, and our teams on either side of the stage are able to defuse it. Breach goes up. And so far, it has been a wonderful performance from Vivid, sitting at 5-1 already.
Yeah, him and Nero so far are just setting the tone on this search and destroy. With the aggression that they are putting in towards Art, it's causing Vegas a lot of problems, but back on the attack. It's gonna be Beans carrying that bomb. They have all of Boston Breach just holding down their cuts, making sure nothing fishy happens with any players in the Vegas Legion trying to hop their way up in towards top Art. Temp once again with the sniper, just trying to find another successful round.
Yeah, let's see that trophy be tossed out. Bit of information gained. Same thing can be said for Nero. He walks away with a fraction of HP. So both teams tested. Both teams bruised and battered already here in this round number 4. Will the plant go down again? Temp, he'll look to try to stop it. Will he see the peak? Will he get his chance? Yes, he does. Not able to strike. But TJ, thankfully, is able to deliver so far. It is Beans locking down things over at the bomb site. But TJ has got to do this all by himself. Too many players. Beans having himself around. He's getting loud.
That's good work right there from Beans, because I told you he needed to step up and search and destroy. Didn't have the best performance versus the Toronto Ultra. Overall, 0.33 KD. But in this round, he's able to find 3 kills with great AR presence. Shuts down the sniper from Temp. No hesitation on the bomb plant. And it closes out the round with that final kill onto TJ. Boston Breach, 2 rounds in a row now.
Yeah, man, like that's a search destroy performance that we expected of a player like Beans coming into today. I want to say was like a 1.5 search destroy KD. Obviously here in Major 3, where he has made his introduction into the CDL. Unbelievably talented search destroy player. Trying to wield Boston to a massive W here in game 2, trying to go up 2-0 overall. Vivid peppering in some shots. TJ, well, he has to back up, and what does that do? It sets up the fast and hungry SMG duo to do it all. Vivid and Nero able to strike as they rush forward in the cannons and make this round quick.
Boston Breach, they're just doing a great job of soloing out Clay. Like, they know that he's the island player. He's the guy that likes to watch flank. Obviously, you do your VOD review. You're going to know the positions that he likes to play. Because they can't find another first blood onto him and then don't stop the aggression up through street. Once they take care of him, you see all of the rest of Vegas Legion. They have to wrap back. Now you have to watch your back. But by that time, when you're rotating off your positions, you're opening up presence for the SMGs on the opposite side. As Nero takes them all down. That was a very quick round from Boston Breach. Don't forget, Vegas need to win this map because they're so bad at control. They need to come back.
Yeah, they do indeed. I mean, they lost to Marky B on it just a few days ago. In major need of a wake-up call. His kills exchanged early. We're into the 3 versus 3, but you can tell it's Nero who's ready to strike. It's Nero who's hungry. A few shots peppered out. However, Awakening ends up falling, and now it could set up Nero to go for the pinch. Has KiSMET read it? Has the veteran found out what the call is? Clay! A big gunfight to take, and now it all leaves it up to Beans. 1v3, what a clutch this could potentially be.
He has a lot of time to work with. Looks like he did pick up some information of a player playing in towards this corner. He's slowly going to work his way on up. Temp's going to get the sound cues, give the information to his team. And Vegas Legion finally are able to stop the bleeding with great plays coming in from Clay, shutting down that aggression up through the street side. He's able to find 2 and set up 2 real to take down the last round. You hear the crowd, they're starting to get behind Vegas Legion. They need every ounce of energy they can get.
Yeah, they absolutely do. As we said, when it comes down to really both of these franchises, Boston, they've had some great moments, just their 2nd year in the CDL for Vegas Legion. They've been with us since the start. Obviously previously known as Paris, but trying to make it a championship Sunday, trying to wield this fan base into some excitement. Clay was able to get on the board last round. We'll see if he can strike for another one, and he will. First blood engagement goes to him. Crafty work there from Nero as he's able to stay alive. That will set up Beans, who eventually is able to find a kill of his own. Simp will grab that objective in the meantime, still yet to plan it. Punching in the digits, trying to put the pressure on to Breach, 3v3.
3v3, but Nero finds himself in a great position again. Already puts himself in towards bottom art. Should be able to pick up this free kill onto TJ. Now you make it a 3v2. You know that KiSMET's the guy that likes to play towards street. Temp take down Awakening, but Beans is there for the trade. All lift up to Clay. The old man, can he clutch up?
Oldest player in the league. Veteran, can he come away with it? 1v2, Nero! Able to drop him, and with that, Boston will be able to go up 5 rounds to 2 on a map that, as we said, Vegas have been spotless on. An 8-0 record that's about to have a 1 now listed in the loss column, unless something can turn around, unless something can happen. And as we said, Jay, this feels like disaster This feels like disaster already for Vegas, considering the next map that we have.
They need to find something, man. Down 5-2, Vegas Legion. This game is far from over. We've seen some insane comebacks. Being down 5-2. Have to string something together. Temp's gonna put down a couple bullets. Able to get Beans weak and take down Nero. They take the first blood, but look at Vivid.
Oh! Vivid able to strike for 2. Clay instantly left at a 1v3. Not able to clutch up last time. Can he go big this time? The team on his back. And it looks like he'll crumble. Boston Breach answer again. And Beans is wanting to know when they're gonna show up. A 2-0 start here. Breach by no means a fan favorite, but they are putting on one heck of a performance. And how about that turnaround from Beans, Jay? 8-2 after a slow performance there versus Toronto. You could tell, man, as they walked off the stage, those boys are feeling good. They got some swag, it feels like now.
Oh yeah, they definitely just shook off the loss versus Toronto. That map number 1 told us everything, but beating a team like Vegas Legion on their best search and destroy map and making them look easy. Boston Breach are not trying to go home today. They're trying to make it to that championship Sunday. Just really think between Beans and Nero, those guys are just taking over the game. Early into the couple rounds, it was Vivid, finding the multiple first blood, non-stop aggression. But then once he started to slow down, that's when Nero started to step up. He had 6 non-traded kills, ends the map 10-4, all-out chaos when he was in towards the arc. Just making play after play, and then when you needed your AR to hold down a certain position, that's where Beans stepped up and got the job done. Tall task ahead for the Vegas Legion boys to try to bring this one back. And it all starts with a Fortress Control, the mode where they are the worst in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for I think what I interviewed Temp yesterday, he was like, if we can win a Control, anything is possible.
Yeah.
Maybe with like the KG line, that I mean, hey, maybe we can even win a championship if we can walk away with a Control. Does Vegas Legion, does their elimination bracket run, does the reverse sweep start here, or will Boston make quick work of the Legion boys? We will have to find on out when we come back after the break. We are headed to some Fortress Control. Make sure and stay with us. Alrighty, friends, and welcome back to the final matchup of the day. Boston Breach taking on the Vegas Legion. It's been a long day for our folks and our friends here in the Texas crowd. Some of them have even been here since like 4 a.m. It's been a long day, Jay. And right now, I don't know if it's necessarily respecting our time, because I would love to go to a game 5, but right now, Boston trying to get this series done as quick as possible.
4 a.m., man. Like, those guys are dedicated. They wanted to come out and see their hometown crowd, their hometown team put on an absolute show, and OpTic did just that. But into this series, we go back again, man. Vegas Legion, they got us pray to the COD gods, brother, because they're playing Fortress Control, where they lost this map to a coach. Like, that's super difficult. When you take a look at our Stage 3 control stats for both of these squads, obviously for Vegas Legion, it's not pretty. 18% win rate on their attacking rounds, 42% on their defenses, but the overall team KD of that 0.8, we have to be able to slay, man, because everything is on the line right here. You lose this, you're going home top 6 again.
Jay, you know Clayster very, very well. I mean, he's one of your closest friends.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's typically the guy to really get the team going and get that momentum flowing. If you could mimic maybe what he's probably saying to the team right now, what do you think it would be?
It's not over till it's over, man. It's not over until that score says 3-0 for the other team. You got to just keep on fighting. A 3-time world champ. I'm not a world champ, so I know his speech is going to be a lot different. But Clayster, the veteran presence on that Vegas Legion squad, you have to be able to rally the troops.
You do indeed. And for Vegas, they will start things off on attacks. So, I mean, if they can come out and get a few segments, that would be huge for them. Get some momentum flowing, trying to make Boston have to work a bit. But we know it, Fortress Control, very difficult for the attacking side. Often that right side of the map can quickly become a spawn trap if you're not careful. And Breach right now trying to set that up nice and early. So far for Vegas, it's only been 1 kill. We'll see if they can eventually get things going. And from there, the cutoffs seem to be found. Nero put himself in a spot to hopefully earn some streaks. Vegas run, Vegas fall, kills continue to rack up.
Oh man, that's another 3 dead in the feed. Vegas have not been able to breathe outside of their base. It's all lot pressure in towards Vaps. Great stun though to at least slow down Vivid, but great teamwork coming in from Nero and Awakening, combining 4-3. So with only 30 seconds left, Vegas only found 2 kills on the round. You have to try to do something. It's looking like it's going to be a 4-man push right through the double doors, and it's on Nero.
See if they can make a last-second sprint. An opportunity, a 1v1 that's going to have to go their way, at least in terms of taking down Vivid, the first line of defense. But he backs up and allows for Beads to do the rest of the damage. 5 more seconds before round 1 comes to a close, and it's a nightmare. No segments for Legion. Boston, a commanding 1-0 lead.
And they only got 4 kills in that round number 1, so we're talking about Vegas Legion trying to find something. That's not the way you want to start it. But at least you don't give up any streaks on the opposite side to the Boston Breach. Now, if you are Vegas Legion, you just have to repeat exactly what Boston just did to you. Not allow any segments to go in favor of Boston. Try to tie this game up. All out slaying on this defense. Try to earn some cruise missiles.
Oh, I was taking a look at that scoreboard. If your name's not TJ, you're combining for like 1 in 12. So Vegas, that slang has got to improve, and it should when you're on the defensive side. But we know it for Breach, right? Really no pressure when it comes down to this round. All you got to do is walk away with 1 segment. That 3-man down spree should have left for them to get incredibly close to it. Timp going to try to get a little bit of work done. He's hunting for information, searching for where Boston elects to go, but they're right on that point. Everybody's falling except for Timp. Information is fine, but you're not giving that to anybody. That is 1 segment. Now make it 2. A cruise missile that gets earned. Jay, this is just not looking good. This is getting worse and worse and worse. Full segment captured, another minute on the clock, and Beans could earn the 2nd streak.
And now Vivid finds himself in Tar. He's going to set up the flank, but at least Clay is there for the trade. I would like to see Vegas Legion put a lot of pressure over towards A, because you know how crucial that is. And also, too, real, to get 1 kill on the map, he finally is able to do so by taking down Beans. You still have to worry about the rest of Boston Breach, who is still roaming around your base. They find a couple kills. It's now 3 dead, but Vivid is still trying to roam. He's trying to make the play for Boston.
And we know it, right? When it comes down to really Fortress respawns in general, but specifically on Control, and SMG hanging out to the top side of cannons can do a lot of work, can do a lot of problems for the defensive side as they're finding kills effortlessly. That lane is open, and from there, Breach blow on in. 3 members stacking the point, trying to get another segment on the board. Last man alive is going to be Beans. He eventually drops, but the damage has been done. The dent has been created. 4 segments and still 1 minute and 30 to go.
And now if you are Vegas Legion, you got to at least put them in this trap. You allowed 4 ticks to go in favor of Boston already, so that's not the best case scenario. But KiSMET, he's starting to heat up. Finds himself on a 3 spree. Let's get the trophy down. Don't allow any tax to damage you. And Temp still holding down this top double window. So far they're keeping Boston Breach in that trap. But it's all about maintaining this because 11 to 10 in lives remaining. If Boston are able to chain a couple kills together, that can cause problems for Vegas.
Yep, it absolutely could. Too real, trying to get something going, right? Just rather just get that gun hot. Eventually falls. Thankfully, done a few in a row. Same thing can be said for TJ. 45 seconds to go, but as we said for Breach, they've done a solid job. And for Vegas, maybe this could be the chance where they start to get things going. It could be a defense here on Fortress that brings them back. Clay is going to be sitting on the spree, and with that, Boston now left to no respawns remaining. Final 4 lives for them. Awakening will drop. Same thing for Vivid. All up to Beans and Nero, and in the meantime, well, they at least do find a few kills. Clay finding himself on an 8 spree as we close up round 2.
Not the cleanest work right there from Vegas, but they get the job done and secure the defensive round. And KiSMET also does earn himself that cruise missile. But now in the back of your mind, you're thinking about how the hell are we gonna get these segments? It all starts with the initial gunfights. You can't go 2 to 3 dead right off the rip because that's when Boston Breach are going to be able to set up the trap, put their ARs in towards the top double windows, and then your SMG is roaming all around map. So this break off is big. Vegas Legion need to find a way out.
And as you said, man, this opening engagement, this opening team fight is going to be huge. And Temp quickly gets taken down. Clay now on 9. Can he make it double digits? That would be nice, but I'll tell you what, he needs some teammate support first. He eventually does get overwhelmed. Breach well handled in the opening team fight.
Now Vegas Legion have to try to fight out of their base again. Right now with Boston full map control, they're maintaining maps. They're trying to make them overextend through stable side. As Vivid and Awakening, they cut them down. Now with only 55 seconds remaining, Vegas are only able to find 1 kill on the round. They're trying to find the trade, but Vivid is cutting them all down. That's 2 dead in the feed, make it all 4. As the SMG duo combines for that. Now all of Vegas, with 40 seconds left, have to try to get out. You have to try to get some seconds.
Yeah, you have to get at least a little bit of something, right? Just get 1 or 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, 5, I don't know, maybe 6. Anything would be great. Anything would be nice. Thankfully, Clay finds a double headshot, so that will open things up for the moment here for Vegas. Their first real opportunity. Now, what do they do with it? Time continues to tick. Beans, well, he peels Clay off of that hey-heady. And from there, Nero, he will eventually drop. From there, TJ, the last man alive inside of the point, does not get close enough to getting a segment on the board. And that very well could do it for round number 3, Jay.
Oh yeah, it's all chalk. Beans is just cutting them down. The ARs on the side of Boston Breach, able to find all 4 kills in the feed. Vegas Legion couldn't do it in the slaying, couldn't find any segments on their second attacking round. So now, they are put in a situation where they have to clutch up on the defense to at least force round number 5. They have to win that attack because Boston Breach, with those 4 segments, have guaranteed themselves that defense in round 5.
Yeah, that's the scary part here if you're Vegas, because you got to do it. It's got to be now. It's got to be on attack. And in this spot, can they come up clutch? Defensive round here, but as we said, the attack all but guaranteed. They got to focus up. They got to be ready, because here comes the onslaught. Here comes the aggression quickly for Breach. They send Vivid forward. He will fall. And the same thing can be said for Awakening. So with that, a solid start if you're Legion. But right now for Breach, I was going to say, they have a nice little setup going on to the top side of the map. Trying to get things to slow down and allow for at least either a B zone movement or at least someone to go over and get things stopped at A. That's going to be Nero's job for the time. Here comes Vegas now.
Vegas trying to break on in, all out pressure through the street side. Just have to take down Nero, who's just cutting them down again. He's able to find 2, Vivid with the 3rd. So they are maintaining that pressure. Already on a 5 spree is Vivid, and he's still roaming. Vegas Legion look like they're gonna probably chalk this one up, or at least try to push out through stable side. Over that, right now, Vivid is causing them so much problems. They don't want to take the wrong step. You have to find that kill. Now you take them off that point.
See if they're gonna be able to do it. Tim, say, does he decide to go for this all by his lonesome? Yes, he will. Able to drop 1, goes for the contest. Can teammate support arrive here in time? Because he's not gonna be able to do it by himself. TJ, a little late to the party, eventually does end up finding a kill. But by the time that he did, Boston had already grabbed all 3 of those segments. As we said, guaranteed already there in that round number 5. But they do a great job of at least adding another minute on the clock, giving themselves a chance to end it out here in round number 4. Vegas prepare, and the same thing can be said for Boston. What can they find as they drop 2 picks early?
Oh, those are big kills from Boston Priest. They find an opening. Now they're able to stop that clock by pushing right through the front. You have Vivid still roaming around in towards Art. He's able to take down TJ. And now this is where you got to hit the panic button. If you are Vegas, you have to put pressure on. You have to be able to take them off this point. That's another 2 dead in the feed. Second segment already done.
Oh, no.
It might be done all right now.
It might be, and that's going to do it. Boston clean this one up nice and early. A 3-0 in the series and a 3-1 here in this control, as they will send the Vegas Legion home, top 6. And for Breach, they make it a championship Sunday.
Austin Breach just came out and played some almost perfect Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean,
that map number 1 was textbook, winning all your rotations on the very first rotation of hard points. They were dominating on their setups. They eventually find a W, but biggest map was that map number 2, man. Taking down a team like Vegas Legion on their best search and destroy, where they were undefeated 8-0. And it was on the back of Beans and Nero, who just took over that game. And then when you put yourself into the control up 2-0 versus a team like Vegas Legion, who struggle in that mode, they just clutched up, dominated on their defensive rounds, earned a couple segments on their attacking. But it was all out slaying on the side of Boston Breach to close out this series in a clean 3-0. Now have a rematch with OpTic.
I have to say, that is going to be a very fun matchup tomorrow, but commiserations to the Vegas Legion. You know, as we said, one of their highest placements in a very long time. They go out top 6. Unfortunately, will not see that Sunday tomorrow. But I'll tell you what, man, I mean, for Boston Breach, considering that they were off of that loss, right, versus the Toronto Ultra Legion, who have been solid so far this tournament, and beating them in such a dominant 3-0 fashion, especially in that Fortress Search and Destroy, how much better now do you feel about Breach moving into tomorrow?
Oh, I'm super confident in Boston Breach, because going into tomorrow, they got to play OpTic. They've already 3-0'd that team, and that was a great performance from every single player. I think the main guy that I wanted to focus on in this series was the turnaround for Beans.
Yeah.
They didn't have the best versus Toronto, but in that Search and Destroy 8-2, and that final map, almost a 2.0 KD. Beans was there. The entire Boston Breach was there. Yeah. They came out and got the job done.
They did. They made it quick, man. I'll tell you what, I was hoping for a closer series. I thought for sure. We were talking about Vegas Legion. You know, maybe they could walk away with the opening hard point. They had that guaranteed Game 2 Fortress Search Destroy performance, but Breach came out and looked clinical. That's going to do it for myself and Jay. Boston get the dub, and now one of those members is joined up on the main stage by Miles. Take it away, buddy.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm joined by Vivid. Congratulations, dude. First and foremost, a very, very well-earned victory there, 3-0. Congrats, mate. What happened? What changed? I mean, you guys look like you were smooth sailing. Obviously, it's been a bit of a run through losers. Any major takeaways from you throughout the series?
Honestly, I think that was just a team diff. I think we're just better than them, and it showed right there. They're bread and butter map too, but it didn't look very bread and butter like to me.
Oh, you ate him up, dude. Well played, well played. So next opponents, you'll be rematch against OpTic. Now, it's tough to beat a team twice in the same tournament. How are you going to prepare for that?
Same as it was on Thursday, you know, playing in front of the crowd. Obviously, they're booing us, but it's still insane. The energy's been crazy, so looking forward to it.
Obviously, Beans coming onto the roster has changed seemingly everything. You clutch on him in Game 5s. Search and Destroy is looking far more reliable. What's it like having him on the team? He seems like a real powerhouse.
Yeah, I mean, his energy is something that we kind of needed. with Zin, I felt like we kind of didn't have energy all the time, and obviously we couldn't win map 5, so that's also big. And yeah, he's just a trolly guy. He just brings the vibes up all around. He's just fun to be around.
Dude, I absolutely love it. It sounds like everything's going really well, and we wish you the best of luck for tomorrow. Is there any last things you want to say to the crowd or the fans at home?
We appreciate the support for those that are supporting, and for the guys booing, we appreciate that too. We like it.
Congratulations again, dude. See you on Sunday. Back to the desk.
Hey, thank you, Miles. Boston Breach, they get it done once again. They continue to move forward through the elimination bracket, now break it into top 4. So clearly not deterred by that loss that they had in winter, so good on them. Bit bittersweet, though, because we do lose Las Vegas Legion. We lose Clayster. That's always a tough feeling, to say the least. But Las Vegas Legion, at least in my opinion, nameless, top 6, not bad.
I mean, decent starting in losers, right? They find themselves in a situation where they got some points. But, to what Vivid said, like team diff, I mean, coming into this series, you think game 2 is a lock for Vegas. And then if you can make it to that Embassy in game 4, you really have an opportunity to push it to game 5. Embassy is a map where I looked at this list and I'm like, Vegas can lock that one up. Unfortunately, they don't get there just because you look at Nero, you look at Beans taking over in the search and destroy. Just so much to deal with on the map. And Vegas had no answer. Lifeless version of them we saw just now.
Absolutely.
That's right. Yeah, and you bring up Nero, good on you, because he was, in fact, our scuff play of the game. Let's watch his highlights throughout the entire series. Nero has been lights out throughout this tournament. Loving watching him.
And he's played crazy today. Played really well, even up against Ultra when they lost it. We were hearing that he hasn't been feeling that great today. So coming into this and to put on this kind of performance, I wouldn't go as far as saying fluke game, etc., but played very, very well today, which is typical considering how he's been feeling today.
Yeah, big fan of Nero, without question. Boston Breach continues to move up and up, at least whenever it comes to the bracket. Allie, Boston Breach, how do you think this series made them look?
I mean, it made them look unstoppable, right? I think Vegas Legion, they came out really slow, and Boston really punished them for that. I think, this is a series that should have maybe gone a little bit longer, maybe a little bit closer, simply because of what Vegas Legion have been showing us. They've beat Boston Breach before, but you have to tip your heads to the Boston Breach again. They came out hot. They came out firing, especially after that Game 5 loss. I mean, it's tough to bounce back after something like that, especially when it was on the hands of Beans, who maybe had a little bit of an unfortunate performance in Search and Destroy, to come out and map 2 the way that he did.
Yeah, and I think that one thing I want to say on Vegas Legion as well, they've kind of been waiting all day to play their game. Boston already played. They came in hot. Vegas came in cold. As soon as that happens, you're in a bad situation. Straight away.
Well, let's start talking about our matches that took place. We had 5 great matches. We start off with OpTic Texas versus Florida Mutineers. OpTic Texas started getting the ball rolling, and man, once they got it rolling, they looked unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, they came out in that first match, the electricity in here, it was through the roof. The fans were going crazy, and OpTic was frying the Mutineers. Like, literally destroying them. Their guns were hot, and they come out, they lose that control, but if you're dominating the hardpoints, it don't matter if you lose the control.
And they've been put in multiple situations where they proved that they were able to kind of slow themselves down and reevaluate the situation. They only got 4 out of the 9 first bloods in that hotel search and destroy, and yet they still won the map in a very convincing fashion, 6-3, and then they go into that hotel. They choke that 2-0 lead, but then they move into that Mercado hardpoint and just slam the Florida Mutineers. They're there, they set themselves for early success in those early rotations to P2 and P3, and they close it out in 250 to 117 fashion.
And one thing that I love seeing, Huke and Shotzzy stepping it up. They were absolutely frying. Huke was making plays that were making us scream, and it was wild. That dome play, by the way, where he hopped up top and then beamed the guy through the window, was nasty. We move on to Atlanta FaZe versus Seattle Surge. This series was absolutely nutty. Map 5, round 11. This is where we saw Simp absolutely go insane.
Yeah, a crazy, crazy game for both 2 teams, and it was high-level COD across the board.
Yeah.
But yeah, it literally comes really down to 1v1 between Simp and Pred, which way that one goes. The series win follows alongside of it, but it was just a really great game. And I would say in terms of the high-level COD that we've seen, the quality of gameplay, the highest we've seen so far in the CDL this year.
Yeah, and you can see, Seattle were able to bounce back after that loss. Right? It's like the apple was so close, man. They're literally right there, and Pred's not able to clutch up. But like you said, this was an amazing series. I mean, I feel like everybody who was watching this knew we were watching 2 championship caliber teams going at it. We've never seen FaZe get tested like that on Embassy Search and Destroy. So we'll see how they readjust.
Man, it was close to this play action that ended up taking place, and it's so upsetting because Simp ended up getting 2, and you really thought at that point, okay, Seattle Surge, they're going to do it, but Atlanta FaZe broke through. Our third series of the day was Toronto Ultra versus Boston Breach. It went another map 5, not around 11, but still a great series nonetheless.
I mean, it was a really good series to watch. Going back to another game 5, it was kind of the revenge for Toronto Ultra. Again, an embarrassing matchup first and foremost when they went against the Boston Breach with Beans on the roster, dropping a 0.5 in the hard point. Yes, they took it, but only in a 20-point fashion and then lose the series. They come out today, they have a new player on the roster, which is Hixie, which I think the situation's so funny to me because we talk about the Rookie of the Year conversation between, you know, Scrappy and Beans. Hixie's still a rookie too. Like, this was still a big game for him to maybe try and solidify himself and put himself on the board. Of course, he is going to be that more objective, slower SMG player, and he made the difference. Toronto Ultra win this in a game 5 and a convincing 6-2 game 5.
Yeah, and also it's like sort of a statement game as well. Like, yo, we don't even need to win the hard points to win the series. Like, all we got to do is win both search and destroys, and they do just that. And then also in the control, 3-0ing Boston Breach on their best control map. Coming into this, Boston had been lighting everybody up on a CeeLo, so Ultra are feeling damn good going into tomorrow.
And then you go to series number 4, and it was OpTic Texas making the return. We saw them earlier versus Florida Mutineers. How would they play against Seattle Surge? Well, they ended up beating them 3-1 ton. You had a front seat to this match.
Oh, and it was incredible to see them come out so hot. It was from the word go. And honestly, you know, we've been asking this question of OpTic Texas over the entire stage. Okay, yeah, they beat Florida. All right, they beat London. Everyone, myself included, every single one of the talent team had Surge taking this game relatively comfortably. I thought it was going to be a step too far. OpTic Texas proven not just us, but everybody else completely wrong. And I think the only people in here that were, of course, behind OpTic Texas were the only ones expecting this. It was a dominant performance. Yeah, the control was to continue, but they keep playing like that in hardpoint and search and destroy. It doesn't matter.
That's right. I had a lot of questions about Seattle Surge. How would they be feeling after that loss to Atlanta FaZe? Well, we kind of saw it. They didn't recover. OpTic Texas carrying that momentum through, and man, they really do look unstoppable. The green wall is pulling up big, already secured top 4. I think that's a higher placing than a lot of people were even expecting, even though this is their home ground. But Boston Breach, and Texas, or OpTic Texas, will play against each other in the Elim round 4, and that's going to be an absolute amazing matchup. But I look at the top though, Allie. We have Atlanta FaZe versus Toronto Ultra.
Tale as old as time.
That's
Tale as old as time. These two teams are not unfamiliar with each other. I think it's a treat that we get them in the winners final of all places. Usually we catch them earlier on in the bracket, but can I just say, I can't believe we're already heading into Sunday.
I'm telling you, it flies by, doesn't it? It seems like long days, but once you get there, it's like, okay, we're already here. Atlanta FaZe will face off against Toronto Ultra. That's going to be an amazing matchup. Toronto Ultra, can they bring the fuego? Because Atlanta FaZe are truly looking like the top caliber team to take this entire thing. Then we have OpTic Texas versus Boston Breach. That's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, an elimination round. So winner stays. Loser, unfortunately, will be done. They're going to have to settle with top 4. Then we have the elimination finals, the good old grand finals to finish off for the day. It's been a great major. I think we can all agree with that. And day 3 did not disappoint, just like the other days. Ton, what are our final thoughts?
Yeah, honestly, it was a very, very crazy day as well. But maybe not as crazy as yesterday, but to see OpTic Texas with the regain and looking good on the stage, right. I can't believe how quick the turnaround has come through, and they have a good chance as anybody heading into tomorrow.
Absolutely the case. Allie, what about you?
I think there's some weird consistencies in our stage, and we have 3 of our top 4 coming out of Major State Qualifiers still making it into Sunday, and then a proper upset. Maybe not an upset in the building here since we are in OpTic Texas homestand, but they beat the #1 seed to make it to Sunday as the 7th seed heading into this Major State Qualifier. It's been a big out.
Absolutely. Nameless, it was a great day. What about you?
I mean, this is a fantastic day at Call of Duty. Absolutely insane. Tomorrow could be so special. We got a rematch from day 1 with OpTic in Boston. Then we got Toronto Ultra and Atlanta FaZe. I can't wait. Just get me to Sunday.
I'm telling you, it's going to be coming quick. Make sure you hit that follow button. You don't miss out, because once this gets going, hey, it's hard to stop. Tomorrow, Championship Sunday, it's going to be underway. You don't want to miss out. Please join us. We would love to have you.
Born with the story, I was born for the glory. Through the heat and the rain, can't deny and ignore me. I'm bred for commitment, signed up for a mission. Yeah, it comes with the price, it's all in the description.